Hello and welcome back. I am Arumba. Thank you for joining me. Let's play some more of our campaign with FilthyRobot, the tutorial series where we make bad decisions and try to justify them after the fact.
Yes.
Is that about right?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Well, it's putting ourselves in situations and experience various gameplay mechanics, some of which are negative. What happens if your co-op player spends all your money on stupid things?
We still have money. What are you talking about? Spain just slandered our merchants, by the way.
Bastards.
Yeah, we don't really care. They don't compete in our node. We should do the same thing to Burgundy if we can. We have the tech for it. Slander merchants. Yes. 70 spy network strength. That's way better than improving with some random nation in the New World. When we play, even if we're allies in the next campaign, I am going to constantly have a diplomat spying on you so that I can slander your merchants.
I know you are. I believe it. I fucking believe it.
I want to finish this idea. 25% more national naval force limit would be amazing. Spain has declared war on Tlaxca. So he's going to war in the New World. He's trying to take over...
God, I wish I could automate this map exploration.
Yeah, it's bugged. I don't like it. Henry is infertile. What did you do to him?
Doesn't matter, we have an heir.
I know, but he's infertile. How did they identify that?
I told you about the spy interaction I wanted there, which was go in and like cut tubes or whatever it's called, or
yeah.
What I'm talking about.
So why is it that we have so many admin points?
I haven't been using them for anything.
We have no inflation to buy down. We have no cores to do. We have
development time.
Our idea groups are administrative, so we're good for conquest. We should attack. We should take some land over. We should attack. Let's just go fight Portugal and Spain.
Bohemia.
Well, let's attack Brittany.
Brittany? If you want more wars, you're welcome to more wars.
Let's attack Brittany.
I'm not doing any micromanagement for it, but you're welcome to.
We have good relations. They're reformed. They actually embraced our religion. Just gonna real quick and check and see if I can get anyone to break their alliance. I doubt it. We could get Brittany to break their alliance with the Papal State, but that gives us a truce for 5 years, which is pointless. I don't know. I kind of want that land, but I don't want to really lose this relationship with France in case we actually do get lucky and get the Union. Nope.
Yeah, I don't want to lose it either. I want to. Oh, he's got a strong heir now.
Yeah, he's got an heir. Damn. Got unlucky. Stupid old Nicholas Henri, the 53-year-old, made a baby.
Yep. Did.
I guess, yeah, it looks like either doing administrative development or... What else can we even spend admin points on right now? We have lost our claim to the throne of Bohemia.
Why? They have an heir. An average heir. I thought that didn't cancel it.
I can't remember. I'm going to have to go look it up. And actually, yes, we did get a negative opinion with everyone that we had royal marriages with. I don't remember. I don't mess with this as often as I should.
I see.
There's this massive guide that you can find that talks about all of the different random stuff that can happen with heirs and unions and stuff. And it's a very, very hidden, opaque system. Following the guide will help, but...
I don't have time for that guide. I have to watch the trade guide 10 times in a row until I understand trade.
If the country has acquired the CB in this way, the claim will expire if the target obtains an heir with a strong or average claim.
What happened? Average claim, heir.
Yep, that is what caused it. That sucks.
So you gotta be a little careful then when you're doing personal unions then. You don't want to shoot your load too early on that.
Well, there's not
because
really...
if they then shoot their load at the right time, it's gonna screw you.
There's just not too much you can really do about it, because unfortunately, if you...
Newfoundland!
It used to be that if you broke an alliance breaking didn't cause a truce, and they added that in and basically nerfed the ability to claim throne, declare war, because you have a 5-year truce.
Oh.
So, anyway, yeah, Newfoundland's been formed, so that's fine.
I hit accept, but what does it do? So tell me about it. Let's hear all about the colonial... Is it now a vassal?
Yes.
Subject, it is. Newfoundland. Nice. Does it take one of our interaction slots?
No.
Nice. But now we have... Our flag is halfway colored by a blue sheet. What the fuck happened? That's surely... Do we lose prestige when we get a blue sheet over half our flag?
Half our flag? What are you talking about?
It's half their flag. Oh, I see.
That's showing that they're a colony. They have half our flag and half their own flag.
Their flag is a blue sheet?
Yes, apparently. They're a subject. So they're reformed, like we are. They're going to convert the land automatically. They are our religious... they're our tech group. They should have all of our tech. Yep. Feudalism, Renaissance, colonialism, printing press is all here, which means that some of these Native Americans are going to start to embrace the tech because we've got adjacent provinces to them. Looking at the subjects tab, you can see that we're getting 12% tariff efficiency. We have a base of 10. We have viceroys from the idea group.
If you pause while I look at this, I'm getting pop-ups nonstop about things we need to take care of. Okay, so I'm looking at the Newfoundland tab. I see they're paying me. They're paying us
0.33.
Okay, yeah, but I see that a number, but what is that number? What is that percentage of them?
That is 0.33 of their income. 10% tariff rate, increased to 12% because of the Viceroy's idea from the Exploration Idea Group.
That one's multiplicative but not additive, but all the other ones in the game are additive?
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Exactly. So, yeah. 12%, I don't know. I'm going to go check the ledger to see if it's 12% of their total income or 12% of their actual income or what it is, but let's go find Newfoundland's.
What is this city shit?
The
Colonial Nation is too small to provide us with a bonus merchant. They needed to control at least 10 cities, but control only 5 cities. Is a city a province?
No, it's a province. Yes, yes.
Why is it called a city here, then?
I don't know. In this case, because that's what they call when you colonize, to turn it into a city, it needs to have a thing. I don't know. It's EU4. It's evolved from EU1, 2, 3, and it has holdovers from EU3. That make no sense. So in this case, we're actually getting 12% of their total income instead of just their actual income, like with vassals, which makes no sense to me at all. But it's different. But yes, we're getting. So
the vassals, you get a percentage of their tax income, but not their production income
or trade income,
or their trade income. But with Colonial Nation, we get a percentage of their total income, including production, trade, and tax.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's pause again.
I'll never in a million years remember that. Okay.
If we grow their country to size 10 provinces, then we'll get an extra merchant as well, which we could stick into their trade node and help force the money back to our area, which we would do as Great Britain. But clicking on Newfoundland, we have interactions. These are different than with a regular vassal. We've got embargo rivals, customized subject. You can change their flag and color and stuff. Decreased tariffs.
Am I seeing this?
Click on Newfoundland, just like you did with Galicia, and see their interactions. You get the standard stuff where you can...
sorry, from the subject menu. Oh, I see.
Yeah, you can still tell them how to handle their army. You can see some information about them at a glance. And then their interactions are different than with vassals. Also, there should be a different interaction with the March as well. We didn't talk about that. Let's talk about Newfoundland first. So, customized subject. You can't do that with vassals, but you can with colonial nations. And you can also do it with client states, which you don't get till much later into the game. Diplotech 23. Client states basically just lets you create a nation out of thin air, with no claim, no cores necessary. So you can just create a vassal just because you want to, and then give them some land and have them manage it for you. But it's a late game feature. Decrease tariffs. Never ever ever click this button. Why would you ever spend admin points to reduce the amount of money they pay you? That's dumb. Paradox loves to tie everything to monarch points. It's this glowing magical monarch point system, and whatever, it is what it is. But every goddamn button in the game doesn't need to be tied to monarch points. I
heard the greatest in the... you probably heard this a million times by now, but one of my viewers posted in a comment talking about bird mana for diplomatic points, and I fell in love with that. Are there other... What's the admin one called and the cross swords one? Do we have equivalent mana costs for those? Mana names for those? Because that was quite cute, I thought.
Paper mana, bird mana, and sword mana.
Yeah. Okay.
There's what that's a reference to is that if you look at the Steam reviews of EU4, one of the most upvoted reviews is about how the guy doesn't really understand the game, but he explains it, and he's like, so EU4 is like a history game where you are like a ruler of a nation, and you've got various types of mana that you use to do blah, 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 and he makes it sound like a mana game, and he just makes fun of it, and it's hilarious, so that's what that's from. Anyway, there is a button to increase tariffs, which I would also never press, because again, why would you ever spend admin points to get money? You are always trying to do the opposite. You want to spend the money to get monarch. You can pay off their debt just like any other subject. Placate local rulers to lower liberty desire. Replace governor. If for whatever reason you want to, you can click that button to get a new ruler in charge. They have a general, they've got a 5-4-5 right now. If for some reason they have like a horrible leader, you called the colonial nation Filthy Land. Great.
Yeah.
So Governor William Cavendish. Now it's important to know that with colonial nations like this, they are different from our government. They do not follow a succession type thing where like there's an heir and they come into power. They are if you hover over their if you hover over where it says the word colony while looking at the colonial nation, they have a colonial government. That's the name of the government, which is a type of republic. So I think it's every 8 years. Yeah, every 8 years they hold an election. And then they spend something called Republican tradition to either re-elect the same guy or they just take a random new guy. And when they take a random new guy, it's a guy who's either a 411, a 141, or a 114. So let's just say, for example, that your colonial nation is not coring land and you want them to core land and they elect a 114 and you're pissed about it, you can click that button to make them elect someone else.
So he's currently at 545.
It's really good.
Okay.
He's really, really good. And he's 40, so he should live for a long time. Our colonial nation is going to start colonizing right away. You'll notice that when they were formed, they copied our tech. So they're 15, 13, 15, just like us.
Copy our ideas as well.
They copied our number of ideas. We have 23 ideas. We have 27. They ended up with 23, which is apparently just like related to how far into the game we are or something. The actual idea groups they took are different. They took expansion, plutocratic, and economic.
But expansion has a colonist. That's where they have their colonists from.
Every colonial nation will always take a colonial idea group. Always. They'll always end up with a colonist. So we should see very soon, and actually I think that he already has, he has started colonizing in the province of Etchimins.
Yep. Put off a little pseudopod.
So just like with vassals, you get things. You get 10,000 base manpower, one base tax income. You get one extra military leader. You get base force limit, etc. So you get all these side perks. Nice. On top of that, you grow the colony to size 10 and you get a free merchant, which can help you make money. On top of all of that, they always will have a colonist, so that rapidly increases the speed that they can colonize. However, clicking on
Show me again where I see the bonuses they're giving me, like those manpower things, etc. That was specific to
all nations.
Those are not bonuses we're getting. Those are specific that what you're saying is he has those things.
Yes, and because he exists, he has a base 10,000 bonus manpower pool. All nations get 10,000 minimum manpower cap.
Yeah. Okay. No. I was just clarifying that you weren't saying we were getting it.
Right.
He gets it, but we have it added to essentially our man pool if we ever go wars near him because he'll add troops to ours, etc. Yep. Can we gift him our troops standing in his land, by the way, if we wanted to?
No, you can't give away men. One deficit or drawback that colonial nations have, if you click on the province of Etchimins where he's colonizing, hover over where it says spread plus 16 per year.
Okay.
You'll notice a multiplicative modifier in there, colonial nation minus 0.25. Yeah. So colonial nations grow at a quarter of the normal speed, because otherwise they would be too good or something. So you get an extra colonist. They usually grow mostly via the colonist himself, his actual colonization action, but the growth rate is reduced. You can still colonize, but if now any province we colonize in this colonial region will automatically immediately on the next month get sent to Newfoundland. They show as Newfoundland on my map, but I'm sure it'll update soon to Filthy Land or whatever you called it.
Okay.
So it'll automatically go to them. If you control any land whatsoever in the colonial region, like if we conquered Powhatan.
Oh, that's a big colonial region.
Then they take it. They would get it.
The wasteland.
And then one last thing that's very important. If you have a colonial nation that is not colonizing, it's because they don't have the budget for it. Press F1, F3 to go to the Subjects tab. Click on Newfoundland and look at their income versus expenses. They need to have about 2 to 3 ducats a month in income. If they don't, they won't take on that 2 ducat a month in colonial maintenance expense. So if you give them a whole bunch of trash provinces and they're not colonizing and you want them to, then you should send them a 2 ducat subsidy and they'll start colonizing. Make sense? You have to give them the subsidy so that they have the guaranteed, like what they see as fixed income in order for them to decide to go colonize. It's very high on their priority list, but they're not going to do it if they have negative income. So anyway, there's your colonial nation.
Nice.
They're great.
It's always going to happen on the New World only when you colonize and have 5 or more in the same colonial area.
Yes, you cannot have colonial nations in Africa or Asia, only in North America and South America.
Okay.
Now, there are some really squirrely things you can do if you don't want colonial nations. Like, for example, if you can finagle a way to move your capital to the New World, which is beyond the scope of a tutorial, but it is possible, if you move your capital to the New World in, say, Panama, right in the center between the two continents, and then you expand and colonize outward from there, you will not form colonial nations on continents where your capital exists, or if the provinces have a direct adjacency, contiguous border connection to your capital. So basically, colonize...
Maxed out on monarch points. You worried about it?
Yes. Spend those points. Spend them. Do some development or something. I don't know. Whatever you want. Well, not whatever you want, but do something smart.
I don't know. I don't know about smart. I'll just spend a little bit on developing our capital some more.
That's good. Whatever's cheap.
It's not that cheap.
The capital should be cheap because the capital gets a reduction based on the total development of your country. Designed to make you force your capital higher.
Yep. Anyways, keep going.
So yeah, the idea being that you like colonize Panama and somehow move your capital there, and then because Panama exists in the, I should know this, it is part of the continent of North America. You can, how on earth is it part of the subcontinent South America but the continent North America? What the hell? That's dumb. Anyway, you can colonize all of North America with no colonial nations forming, and then as long as you've colonized in a contiguous fashion into South America, you can colonize it all with it all being your own land and not forming a colonial nation. You can never do anything though, and I misspoke earlier. Australia will also turn into a colonial nation. It's a single region. But nothing in Africa or Asia. So it's possible. There's a term that you'll see on occasion on the forums or on the subreddit about a one-tag world conquest. Meaning that you are the only tag. There are no other tags. No colonial nations, no subjects, nothing. Just you.
Jesus, that must take so long.
It does. The only way to do it is via that moving your capital thing. Because most people consider, well, I do, I consider a colonial nation to be a tag. Because it has a tag. It exists. It's not a true one-tag world conquest. But then you're talking about pedantics, really. Semantics, pedantics, whatever. I think that a one-tag means one tag. There's another term called world domination, which is where you conquer everything on the whole map. But other tags exist. They're just subjects. I just don't like it.
Come across to the colonial area over here, and like all of these tribes have like been formed under one tag instead?
No, they don't really attack each other too much. Not really. As a player, you can do it quite easily, but... Now, if we were playing seriously and intending to play for another 300 years, it'd be very important to be as aggressively expanding as we can in order to prevent these little one-province guys from embracing our tech group and suddenly being... Like right now, they're on military tech 11 versus our 15.
Yeah.
Powhatan. Because he's embraced our tech. But if you look at Pequot, because he's not adjacent to us, he's on military tech 8. So they
get crushed.
Stupid easy. Like that 12 stack could conquer everything over here, one after the next. But if you wait and you just kind of don't do anything, they will embrace our tech and then suddenly be much more difficult to conquer. So you want to strike while the iron's hot if you can.
Yep.
We're not going to though, because we only need to talk about personal unions, which apparently will never happen now because we
fucked it up.
Now
we should be focusing a lot on the shadow warrior here to get the personal unions going. I mean, Saxe Lomberg over there, 62 years old, no heir. That'd be a pretty easy one, maybe.
We should improve relations with Bohemia and try to re-up the alliance, the royal marriage. Because right now, if Bohemia dies, nothing happens. But he's already of our dynasty. Like, I don't know. It's just an annoying thing. You got an event?
I was just looking at Saxe Lowenberg to see if we could maybe get a royal marriage with them and take over their stuff here.
Yeah.
So you could do it. You could potentially do that thing. Not thing. You could do a personal union with someone not in an alliance with. You could have a royal marriage with them, but no alliance, and then you wouldn't have the timer, and therefore. So potentially one way you could do it is to break the alliance ahead of time. Yes,
that's probably the smarter way to do it now that they implemented that. 5-year penalty, 5-year truce. You could also do some real weird shenanigans like break the alliance, and I don't even know if this would work because I don't know. I think the war score cost for claim throne is 100%. But I was thinking you could break the alliance. You actually wouldn't even need to break the alliance. Just declare war on one of Bohemia's allies, and then have Bohemia defend that person, and then use all of the war score to claim their throne.
I didn't think you could do CBs when you had a different war. So I didn't think you could fulfill like any other type of CB.
Yeah, that's possible. I think, yeah, you're probably right with this specific CB. I think you probably have to declare with this specific CB to even see that option, but
yeah,
just trying to find ways that you can do it. That it could be done.
Okay. Well, I guess we have that personal union goal.
Yeah, if you want to try out personal units, it's actually really easy to mess with. Just load up the game in 1444 and load up Poland. They start with the union over Lithuania, or they get it within like a year. The AI has a 75% chance to take it, 25% chance to not. As a player, you just always take the idea, just take the decision to make them a union.
Yeah, you've got a huge vassal.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know what it is. I don't know what the interactions are like with personal union. It might not be a huge vassal. Perhaps it's a huge bully.
It's not that much different. They don't pay you taxes at all. They have their own ruler, just like a vassal would. They have their own army.
Can you annex them?
You can integrate them just like a vassal, but it takes 50 years before you're allowed to do it.
That's still pretty fucking amazing. Poland just absorbed Lithuania in 50 years.
Yes. Of course, Poland actually gets a national decision once they get to Admin Tech 10. They can just click a button and instant integrate them for free.
Joking.
For free, and not even have to reset the autonomy from 0% up to 60%. It just stays at 0%. It's amazing.
It's an amazing decision.
I would
decide to do that probably.
Used to be that you could actually abuse the crap out of that by taking the union over a nation that you have the ability to click a button on, and then expanding into like Muscovy, Great Horde, Ottomans, everywhere, giving it all to Lithuania, and then at Admin Tech 10 clicking the button to integrate it all for free instantly. But then they nerfed that and said that you can only click that button and get the cores for free if it was land that Lithuania started the game with, or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they nerf all the stuff that's fun. If it's fun, hit it with a nerf hammer.
Good.
So,
Good.
That being said, we'll always find more bugs, more ways to abuse the game. Okay.
Well, I'm looking forward to A, the personal union, and B, I'm looking forward to seeing what we do for our next collaboration on this. So.
Nice. We get the final idea. Take it. Don't cliffhanger this one. Don't do it.
I don't know. Fine.
All right. So we get new policies. Which, in this case, we're way ahead on admin. I would definitely take the Colonial Administration Act right now. Colonial settler chance and global settlers plus 10 is really solid-ish. And now we have room for a ton more boats, which is awesome.
Cool. Perfect. All right, but this is going to be where we cut it for today. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I think we covered a lot of stuff in the last, week and a half of episodes or so, week of episodes. Probably a little bit less since we're doing 2 a day. The last few days of episodes covered a lot of different concepts that are kind of, for me, rounding out some of the parts that were a little bit weak in my mind and some of the stuff that we just hadn't touched on. So it might be a lot of information, but I think it's pretty useful information, at least for me. It's been very useful information. So thanks for watching, guys, and see you soon.
All right, see you in a bit.